Hello my lovelies and welcome to, what is it, part 4 out of 5 of our Deck Strength versus Weakness series. We're featuring the Wisdom of the Oracle for the month of January. I have about 7 decks to show you, and this video will be anti-pairs. So one of the fun ones of what does not work. We're going to start off with indie decks. This is the Journey to Oz and Wonderland by Mystic Madness Tarot. So for those of you that are not familiar with this deck is a cross between the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. And as you can see, the aesthetics are all, well, miles apart. Remember, this is about the energy in the deck and not the aesthetics. So looks bear no weight on whether Isaiah deck pairs or does not pair. And for those of you that may have missed part 1, our deck of the month, the Wisdom of the Oracle, has the Strength of Divine Feminine, weakness of shadow work. And the reason why it doesn't like this particular wonderful deck here is because of all the creatures in it. That's right, creature energy. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. It doesn't mind the people, but when it comes to some of the other animals in here, it kind of freaks out a little bit. It doesn't know what to make of it. Like the Jabberwocky. That's here on the Judgment card. Or Bill the Lizard. Yeah, there's some issues with some of the non-human entities that it has trouble identifying. I'm going to move right on to our next deck because I don't want to keep you here all day. We have the Neverending Tarot. For those of you that are unaware of this deck, this is an indie self-made tarot deck. You can find it on Etsy. Ibiza Kiss, I do believe, is the shop you need to go to. And for those of you that grew up in the 80s, you probably have watched the Neverending Story before. And this is exactly what this majors only deck is for. And just like the Journey to Oz and Wonderland, the Wisdom of the Oracle has issue with some of the creatures in it. It doesn't know what to make of Falcor, the luck dragon. It doesn't know what to do with Gomok. I mean, you give it a big giant snail or Morla the Ancient One, and it doesn't know what to do with that. And that's one thing I've kind of noticed with Wisdom of the Oracle, is that certain types of creatures or decks that have way too much earth or a lot of heavy different creature entities to it, it has trouble making sense of that particular deck. It's just a little bit leery, uncertain. Alright, in our next deck, this is the Surreal Shadows Tarot. So this is a Kickstarter. It is a mixed media, digital painting, drawing, and AI, I think, as well. And as you can tell, the aesthetics are quite different. But these two are clashing when they're on a table together in a reading, simply because of the difference of their strength versus weakness. There's not an overlap for these two decks for them to play nicey nice on a table. Alright, now we're going to get into mass markets. Some of you may recognize the backings of this one. This is the Lorenzi Tarot, and some of you like this deck, some of you hate it. Unfortunately, Wisdom of the Oracle hates it. And as much as I can find the artwork intriguing, the artwork is exactly the reason why the Wisdom of the Oracle does not know what to do with this particular deck. It thinks the artwork is weird. And yeah, sometimes there's animal creatures, there's, you know, dismembered bodies. It's a little unnerved, I guess you could say, by the artwork. And a lot of people that have seen this deck feel that way. I mean, some of it's really pretty, like this Temperance card. But the Oracle says no to this particular tarot. So if you were thinking about pairing it, I wish you luck. Okay. Another mass market you may recognize, especially if you subscribe to my channel. This is my quote-unquote chaos deck. This is the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. And I actually really like this deck. Why? Because it's a deck that will cut to the chase, give me clear communication, especially during retrograde. When there's a lot of chaotic placements or chaotic energy, this is the deck that I go to because it'll sum it up and make it crystal clear. However, when these two decks are on the table together, there's a horrific case of miscommunication. So, for example, this is kind of what it's like. Did anyone as a kid ever play a game of telephone? Perhaps you were like in a classroom and you played a game of telephone. So somebody picked a phrase, they told it to the person next to them, and around it went in the room. And then by the time the person to your, right or left, whichever direction you were going, clockwise or counterclockwise, got the message, they were supposed to relay it to you. And 9 times out of 10, what they told you was not what you said. And this is basically what happens with these two decks. There's a big miscommunication. It's like a very awkward, deranged version of a game of telephone. And it doesn't come out right. It doesn't compute. Alright. And for the inclusion of a pip deck, and this is kind of a fun one, this is Disney's Hocus Pocus Tarot. Now, the reason why these two do not pair is not because it's a pip deck. I want to make that clear. It is not because it's a pip deck. And this deck is actually in order, so I'm going to skip a few so you can, see something other than majors. But believe it or not, Hocus Pocus is about Halloween, Samhain. It's a Sabbath heavy deck. And as much as I have other Sabbath oracles that do pair with the Wisdom of the Oracle, when it comes to the Hocus Pocus Tarot, the Sabbath energy in this one, for some reason, it doesn't like the Sabbath depiction in this deck. So something about All Hallows Eve in this particular deck and how it's approached, it doesn't like it. Alright, I have one last deck to show you, and that is the Green Witch Tarot, which I might have just placed upside down based on the backings. A lot of us are very familiar with this deck by hand, Mora, and a lot of us like it. However, the Wisdom of the Oracle does not. Now, this is a deck that kind of embodies heavy witch energy. There's also fall energy in here. And the reason why the Wisdom of the Oracle rejects the Green Witch Tarot is because of the witch energy. It does not like it. And sadly, I've got some other decks that are tarot that are also rejected by wisdom of the oracle because of the witch energy in them. And for those of you that are curious as to what those are, I do have more of a list. You can find that in the description box down below. You feel free to scroll through it. And if you do find other decks that do not pair, by all means, put them in the comment section down below. Let me know. I'd be curious to see if I have that deck and if it pairs or not. Sometimes it's just my energy is different from yours, so the strength and the weakness of the deck is different in your hands than in mine, and that causes a little nuance. Other times it's a deck I don't have, so I don't have the option of exploring whether or not that pairs or doesn't. Remember, this is a big catalog. It's nice to have more information. So if you find that useful, if you know it, want to share it, by all means, go for it. I have one more section for you in this series that will be airing shortly, and that is the Anti-Pairs Oracle Edition. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys later. Bye.